The Packers may possibly be the most salty, sorry franchise in the NFL for what they just said. You're telling me you're that salty that the Eagles can do a move that nobody else can do at the efficiency that they've done it. And you're saying they should ban it. Shut up, turkey burger. Shut up. Shut up. I am so sick and tired of these teams, of these team presidents that are trying to go out here and say that the tush push, it has no skill. If it has no skill, then you do it. Oh, wait. Wait, the Packers tried to do it, right? Jordan Love tried to do it, and he failed miserably. Oh, they actually did it in the wild card game. Tucker Kraft did it. So my thing is, stop worrying about the tush push. Stop worrying about the brotherly shove. And you should actually devote that energy, devote that time into stopping the Eagles, into being in 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Because they act like the Eagles teleport to 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. Dude, we have to earn those 9 yards. Like, let's not act like we ain't see Jahan Dotson catch a dot, make a beautiful catch, and then he got tackled at the 1-yard line, and the Eagles punched it in through the tush push. So I'm looking at this, and I'm saying, y'all mad, y'all salty, shut up, turkey burger. That's what it is. And it pisses me off because if these teams could do it, they would do it. They would do it. They would do it, bro. So because you can't do it at the level the Eagles can do it, and because your franchise, your team, is nowhere close to winning a Super Bowl, now you want to call for the move to be banned. That's dumb corny. I'll say this objectively. If the NFL wanted to ban the brotherly shove, if they wanted to ban the tush push, they should have did it when the Eagles faced the Chiefs the first time after the 2022 season. That's when they should have done it because that was the height of the move and it was new. But what you can't do is when the Eagles win the Super Bowl, then ban the move. Hell no. Hell no. No. The time to do it, if you wanted to do it, even though I disagree, was after the Eagles lost the Super Bowl. Because then you could say, well, it's not like they became world champions because of it. And I'm not saying that the Eagles became world champions because of the tush push. Clearly they didn't because they was up 40-6 at one point in the Super Bowl. So ultimately, it's just these teams being salty. And I'm just surprised because normally the NFL and sports leagues, it's a copycat league. So you're basically saying, oh, we can't do what y'all do. So that means you're weak. That means you don't have the skill. Because if it takes no skill, and if we're in a copycat league, what that would tell me is you should be able to do it. That's like me telling Steph Curry, right? I'm just saying. Steph Curry shooting threes, it takes no skill. Okay, then you do it. I can't do it. So it takes skill. Skill is subjective. Skill is subjective, y'all. You could argue that it takes skill for somebody like Giannis off like 2 steps to dunk the ball in the half court. You could argue that Steph Curry shooting the ball is skill. You could argue that Kyrie Irving's handles are skill. You could argue that Kobe Bryant's post moves are skill. And that's basketball, but there are different definitions depending on who you ask that defines what's skill. But clearly the Packers are salty that the Eagles keep beating them and they keep failing at the move that they are so vehemently against. And that's their reasoning. It's corny, it's laughable, and I gotta just say, y'all are some turkey burgers. Turkey burgers. Jason Kelsey retiring was the best thing for Jalen Hurts. It was. Because it forced Jalen Hurts to get better at reading defenses. I saw a comment one day, and they say, nah, Jalen Hurts isn't a dual threat quarterback. He is a triple threat quarterback. He can run, he can pass, and his mind in the game is one of one. He's definitely top 3 pre-snap. He's definitely top 3 in the league at uncovering what the defense is trying to do. And I believe that as he's improved in that aspect and he's become elite in that aspect, that in other areas in his game that need improvement, whether it's not taking sacks, whether it's anticipation, he will get better. Because he knows I'm not going to be able to run the way I'm running at 26 at 31, 32. So he will get better throwing the ball, and he already has the best deep ball in the league, at worst top 3. And we've seen him improve each year throwing the ball. It's not crazy to assume that, hey, he's going to get better at throwing the ball, especially after winning a Super Bowl MVP and, frankly, not cracking a smile, maybe like once or twice, since. Like, what did he say? He felt it in his soul. I love that point. Bro. I flat out love that point. And going off offense before we go to defense, and then we're going to get some Sixers talk in here today. Kellen Moore deserves a lot of credit for sticking to the run. There's this perception that Saquon Barkley got shut down and he didn't do much in the Super Bowl. Yes, if you box score watch, Saquon had a pedestrian game. I mean, he still had 97 yards from scrimmage. I'm just saying. It wasn't his best game ever, but that's a bad game from Saquon? Okay. But Saquon really allowed A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith to be great on the biggest stage. And that's the beauty of this team, right? Because for much of the year, in the regular season, A.J. and Smitty had to sacrifice their numbers so that Saquon Barkley could have his historic season. Because we've seen A.J. Brown have back-to-back seasons of 1,400 yards. We've seen Devontae Smith have back-to-back seasons with 1,000 yards. They can do it. But part of the offensive game plan, which it should have been from the start in the Jalen Hurts era, is run the damn ball. Do it with Miles Sanders. Do it with DeAndre Swift. But you got a whole nother weapon in Saquon Barkley. And you would be a fool not to run the ball. Now back to Kellen Moore and Nick Sirianni. I got to give Kellen Moore and Nick Sirianni credit for sticking to the run, because we see guys like John Harbaugh that every single postseason in the Lamar era, when they lose games, it's because they didn't stick to the run in the playoffs. Like That's the reason why they lost to the Bills. You have Derrick Henry not running the ball more than 15 times in the game. That is a travesty. And if that happened to the Eagles, and if Nick Sirianni or Kellen Moore, they were on the hook for having Saquon only run like 13 times, 12 times, 15 times, they would be crucified. But they love John Harbaugh. They love Dan Campbell. They love the CEO head coaches. But when it comes to Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore, who's the OC, whoever these guys, they get the disrespect. But what I love about Nick Sirianni in particular is that he learns from his mistakes and he listens to his players. It was the offensive line after the bye week that told Nick Sirianni this offense needs to be run first. It needs to lean on the offensive line. He heard his players and adjusted accordingly. That's what an elite coach does. He reads the room and he listens to his players. But John Harbaugh, each postseason, the questions are, why didn't y'all run the ball enough? Why didn't y'all trust the run and not run away from it? No pun intended. It's the same freaking question, bro. So can we be consistent with the criticism for the John Harbaughs, for the Dan Campbells, these guys that were favored and did not get it done? Can we please do that? I'm just saying, bruh. Let's keep it consistent. Let's keep it consistent. Let's go to the defense. Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell are going up against A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith in practice every day, leading up to the season in training camp or OTAs, whatever the case may be. They're going up against the best wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 duo in the NFL. That's going to make them be even better. And we saw how they played this season, and I would like to believe that we had that iron sharpens iron type of thing, where it's like, ooh, you're going up against A.J. Brown, going up against Smitty in practice. Oh, if I'm up against, Jamar Chase, I mean, yeah, he's great. He's amazing. But, like, I'm not about to be intimidated. And we saw Cooper DeJean, what he do? What he do against Jamar Chase? I'm just saying. What did Quinyon Mitchell do against Scary Terry? Not too scary, my brother. I'm just saying. And they rookies. So if they rookies doing this now, what they going to be year 3, year 4, year 5? Oh, my gosh. That's why I've said this defense was the best in the league, and this is the worst they will be. And that's a compliment that this is the worst they will be, because Nolan Smith is going to keep getting better. Jalen Carter was anointed by Aaron Donald as he's next. He's me. He's the one. Jalix Hunt been snapping. Joe Thuney, no, Thuney. Coop, Quinyon, Coop, pick 6 in the bowl. Quinyon took away Xavier Worthy if you watch the game. Not talking about that freaking garbage time stuff. That's what we just saying, bruh. So, look, keep hating on the tush push, on Hurts, on the defense, on our coach. We're going to keep on winning. And what do we say? Nobody likes us, and we don't care. Let's get into the Sixers. So Joel Embiid is consulting with doctors about his knee. And let's be honest, this season's over for the Sixers, bro. It's over. It's been over. They are 20-36. They're what? Let me just get what they're standing at. They're like 12th in the East. They're 12th. They're behind the Brooklyn Nets. Let me say this. I'm looking dead at the camera. I have no sympathy for Joel Embiid because he's had opportunities in the playoffs to capitalize, and he's folded like a lawn chair. 2019, Game 7. What did Joel Embiid do? He was 33% from the field and 4 turnovers. Lost that game. 2021, Game 7 against the Hawks. Mind you, the Sixers gave up a 2-1 lead in that series in Game 7. What happens? Trae Young goes 5 for 23 from the field, and Kevin Huerter beats the Sixers on their home court. What did Joel Embiid do? He had 8 turnovers in that game. 2022, Game 6. Joel Embiid, what do you do? He was 29% from the field. They lost that series. 2023, this is when I knew that the trust the process era, it was over, it was done. We need to move on from Embiid. The Sixers were up 3-2 against the Celtics. They had Game 6 at home at Wells Fargo Arena. What did Joel Embiid do in that fourth quarter? The Sixers were outscored 23-13 on their home court. What did Joel Embiid do? This man freaking did not perform to the best of his ability on the bright stage, bruh. He did not, bruh. And then in Game 7, they lost by 24 points. He dropped 15 points on 27% from the field and 4 turnovers. I have no sympathy for Joel Embiid. I have none. Now, Kawhi Leonard, he's been injured, but he has come up clutch more times than not in the playoffs. He has 2 Finals MVPs, but Joel Embiid, no. So I don't care that he's injured, bro, because when he's been healthy, he has not delivered. And this is why I've said trade Joel Embiid, because he's either injured or the times that he is healthy, he does not deliver. He does not deliver. Against the Hawks, he did not deliver. They lost a 2-1 lead. Against the freaking Raptors, he did not deliver. He did not have a good game. Against the freaking Celtics and Heat, I mean, it was so bad. PJ Tucker is screaming at him, saying, don't let Al Horford do that to you. You're Joel freaking Embiid, bro. And my biggest issue is I see other players in Philly like Jalen Hurts and Bryce Harper in the big moments. They don't fold. But Joel Embiid, in those big moments, has folded. Objectively, he has not gotten it done. Bryce Harper, battle him at the bank. Against the Padres, he delivered. Against the Braves, attaboy Garcia, he delivered. Jalen Hurts has best performances of his career on the biggest stage of freaking American sports, the Super Bowl. But Joel Embiid gets outscored by 10 points on his home court, 3-2 against Boston. I have no sympathy. And so I watched Cooper Flagg in person. This guy has all the tools. He can rebound. He can pass. He can score. He can do it all. I would literally trade Joel Embiid and 2 first-round picks for Cooper Flagg in the event the Sixers don't get that first pick. Here's the problem. No team is going to do that. That's how sad it is. You have Joel Embiid, All-NBA player, MVP, multiple-time All-Star guy. And at this stage of his career, not even Joel Embiid and 2 first-round picks, I believe, moves the needle for a franchise to go ahead and trade for him and for the Sixers to get Cooper Flagg. This is why I've said trade Joel Embiid in 2024. Because the writing was on the wall in that Knicks series. This guy's body is breaking down. It's breaking down. and he's 30 plus years old. He's only getting older. And now we're going to be a year removed from him playing MVP level ball. But the Sixers messed up because for some reason they gave him an extension. Why? It wasn't like he was going into a contract year. He had years on his contract. You give this man $190 million. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And this is what Daryl Morey does, bro. He always caters to the best player on his team. And unless that best player is Steph Curry or LeBron James, Giannis, what are you doing that for, bro? Why are we catering to losers? I'm sorry, he's a loser. He's a loser. He's a great regular season player, but when it comes to the postseason, he's a loser. Objectively, he's a loser. It's sad, but I hope that the Sixers lose every single game. And that's coming from my heart as a diehard Sixers fan. Because I hope and I pray that the Sixers capture the flag. But I'm cool. I ain't tripping because the Eagles understood the assignment. This is all good, we all know we always keep it real. I'm out, y'all.